just made it to Bedford Forrest State Park, and it's only about 5 o'clock, but the time just changed last night and it is already dark. So we're going to hike about 2.5 miles to the shelter between the 5 and 10 mile trail, which we've done several times before, so we should be fine with the hiking. We've got our headlamps. Got our backpack there, you can barely see it. There's a nice moon up there. We're parked up at the top of the hill, the highest point in western Tennessee, where the Folklife Center or something, and it's the parking area for the backpacking. Alright, so we're headed out. See if this light helps at all. It looks really creepy. Beautiful sunset. Leaving our last sign of civilization here. Heading down the trail, which of course you can't see anything. So we'll let you know how it goes. Well, we made it to the shelter. Apparently we made pretty good time. Probably because we were trying to get here. That's not working.
Too dark.
Thankfully, we found all the turns. I didn't realize, but it's a little confusing heading around clockwise from the Folklore Center. They intend for you to go counterclockwise. All the markings and signs are faced that way, so you kind of have to be looking closely at the map, and it helps to have been here before. So we're going to set up our hammocks now and make dinner. Okay, it's the next morning, and it was cool last night. It was supposed to get down to 45. A little chilly at times, but I've got my underquilt and my bag. I warmed up and actually got kind of hot, and I actually took off my sweatshirt at one point. And we've got our breakfast going. Can you see that? It's going to be oatmeal, and he's working on the fire. Okay, the sun has officially come up. It's quite bright. Can you tell? But it's nice. It's really pretty up here. Over there is the shelter, which we don't usually stay in there. It's a 3-sided shelter, but it would probably be nice if it was pouring rain. There's Dave in his hammock, and all the beautiful trees all around. So it's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly, but I'm still sitting here with my sleeping bag. So here's the view from the first shelter that's between the 5 and 10 mile loop. That's the way you would come up if you came up the way they want you to come up. And we hammock camped over here. There's a couple of small trees over there, and we are going to continue on down this way. It's a beautiful morning. This is a beautiful campsite because you're up on this ridge and it drops down all around you. So it's real pretty. This is the intersection at the end of the 5 mile loop. It's telling you that blue and red go to the right. That's 10 and 20 mile trail. Goes that way.
Oh, look on this side.
Orange is the 5 mile trail. There are 20 miles of trails and 2 backpacking shelters. So this hill's not too bad, but they've got some really steep hills that go up to the top of these ridges. There were old roads and they go straight up, which I don't know how they would take a vehicle up there. Normally we would go to the left and follow the yellow, orange, and red trails back, but we were going to go to the right for the first time and check out the 20 mile trail, which is also the blue trail. As it goes around the southern end of the park, like around the outside of the more developed area of the park. We've never been down this way, so we thought we'd check it out. See how much of it is, I don't know if it's an old trail that's not well marked or if it's all well marked and used. Okay, so far you really can't tell, but it's been a pretty steep drop down on the blue trail here. It just goes straight down. When you drive up to the nature center at the top where you park, you drive up a super steep hill to get up there. It's almost feels like it's straight up. So I think we were walking down that hill. Okay, almost to the bottom here. There's Dave waiting for me. So you have to be a little bit careful on these trails. This ground is really dry and rocky, and you can't really see the rocks under the leaves. so it would be easy to turn an ankle. The trek poles are definitely helpful. Now apparently this trail is part of a loop that comes out from the developed campground. There's the blue marker, and there's the evil dreaded poison ivy, the hairy vine. Don't touch it. Look, they even have a little birdhouse up here, and a bridge, and a bench. And there's even water in this creek. It's been so dry. It hasn't rained much for a while, but look how much water's in that creek. Look how much water's in it now. But there actually is a little bit of water in there. It's the first water we've seen. We're coming past the developed campground. There's a water spigot there.
The trail continues that way. There's blue.
Trail goes that way. I think we're going to visit the restroom. I think it's pretty clear. This is the women's restroom. Nice showers. Look pretty clean and spider-free. Well, I got some water. Able to use the nice restroom down there. And it's a beautiful day. Nice campground. Here's our trail. That's the end of the interpretive trail there. We're going on up there where Dave is over there. So the trail pretty much just took us around the campground. We crossed this road, and then we are passing maybe a conference center, but the trail continues on this way. I guess we're going to get a tour of the whole park. And of course, you have swings.
I've never swung with a pack on before.
Coming across the creek, here's your marker. I'm pretty impressed at how well they've marked these trails. I kind of thought we'd just have to like figure out where the little sections of trail are and then walk on the road and kind of find the next one, but they're making it pretty clear for us. That's nice. So like a conference center, retreat center?
Yeah. Wonder how often they use it.
I don't know. So I guess the trail goes up that way. There's a sign up there with caution tape. Hopefully they're not telling us we can't go. Alright, so it says trails are closed, but 4th to the 6th. We think that they had a Civil War reenactment here during that time.
I thought it said caution, zombies ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, there's zombies up here, so we're going to have to be extra careful. Looking down at that caution tape down there. This is a steep climb. We're going up to the top. I guess we'll have a good view up there. We came up to the top here. Apparently those trails are closed too for the Civil War reenactment. Here's our blue marker. So we're going this way. Beautiful day. You know, it hasn't really rained much here, and let's see, this is beginning of November. So yes, all of September and October, probably part of August, it really hasn't rained. The nice thing is the ground's really dry and you can put your stuff down and everything's really clean. But we do need to get rain eventually here. So this has been a pretty cool trail. We are up on the top of a ridge. It's amazing the ridges they have up here. I think we're getting closer to the water though. There's some kind of a power plant or something across the Tennessee River, I guess. And you probably can't hear it, but there's like a constant humming going on kind of underneath everything. Really, really cool place. I can't believe this part of the trail is here, and we never thought to hike over here. Look, there's the ridge over there. See how high it is? And it just goes down on either side of us, and then there's another ridge on that side. And where does the trail go? Down on the side here? Oh, there's a marker. Okay, now the trail has kind of, it's no longer flat. I guess the top of the ridge has kind of disappeared. So we're kind of walking on the side of the trail here. Good thing I have my trek poles to make sure we don't lose the marker. Oh, I see one up there. But yeah, this is a little precarious going the hills. There's nothing flat, it's just kind of going through the woods. But there's a marker, so we know this is the trail, even if it doesn't look like a trail. Okay, that trail on the side of the hill brought us back out by the park office. There's the other end of the trail being closed this past weekend. That was the roughest part of this trail so far, but there were enough markers we could find our way. So now we just have to see where the blue trail picks up on the other side. Okay, so we walked across the road behind the office, and I believe our blue trail is part of this trail. This is like a little loop you can just take here, but the blue trail also goes on it. There.
Shortest trail in the park, but it's the most popular.
Here's our map. There's all these old roads in the park. You can tell this used to be an old road. Well, apparently this is stop number 4. They finally let us know we are indeed on the blue trail. Are we going to get to see the river up here? A little bit through the trees. Cool. So I think we're at the far point of the little wildflower trail. Yucca plants, I think, have those flowers in springtime. Lovely garbage can. You can see how dry it is here. There's the boat. There's the plant. It looks like an old bridge over there. Maybe isn't used anymore. Very pretty. Definitely an awesome trail. This is a cool old bench, isn't it? And I'm thinking that this trail and this road that leads down to the water there is probably a really old one. There's a lot of history here. It's cool. Alright, we continue on that way. So the Wildflower Trail just makes a little loop. We started over there, comes back out on the other side of the park office. And the blue trail continues this way, apparently, to the cabin. So, haven't actually seen blue yet, but I know that this is the way it goes according to the map. Hopefully we're right. If not, I don't think you can get too lost on this section of the trail because you're just weaving in and out of roads and buildings and things. So now I don't know why, but this section of the trail has metal white markers. Well, I guess it is, this is a part of another small trail that leads from the cabins, which are up ahead of us. So I guess they're marking it with the white, but this is also blue. I don't know why they're trying to confuse us, but quite a wide bridge. There's some more water over there too. We continue. Now this marker used to be blue. We found one blue marker. But there's an old, kind of a stone bridge here that kind of sets you up out of the mud. Pretty cool. Okay, we made the mistake of going up that way towards the cabins, but looking at a different map, I think you need to turn left after you come up from here. Can you see the sign that says trail? We couldn't. The 20-mile blue trail gets pretty confusing at this point. We've kind of been walking around different roads, and we kind of came across over there through the woods and had come out on the road further down there. So it's not real clear which way it goes. So here's the old cabin from the back. This is kind of cool. Dave thought this was an old road leading up from that cabin. Kind of dug into the side of the hill here. It's pretty narrow now, but can you imagine somebody trying to drive their car up here on the edge of this hill? Okay, now the trail's turned to just a little tiny trail on the side of the hill. kind of cool. You want to watch your footing. And use my truck poles. Pretty steep too. And here's our few proofs that we see that we are actually on the right trail. We are actually on a trail. This is the road that takes you to the yellow, orange, and red loops in the more primitive area of the park. We had no idea that the blue trail came up right here. If you see that white marker, which should be blue. But we just walked up this huge hill to get up here. Of course, they take us up to the highest part of the road. Like the road has just come up and goes down. And that's where we climbed up to. So according to the map, the trail that we came up on goes back down and then walks past the primitive car campground. This is the way we walked last night to get to the shelter. So I really want to know where the blue trail picks up again. Oh yeah? Dave saw a bunch of deer. This is the road you come up on to get to the interpretive center and to parking. But apparently there's more to the blue trail that goes back down and goes past the primitive camping, so one of these days we'll have to find that too. I'll let you know if we see any more of it. So we made it back to our car and we're going to drop off a lot of our backpacking gear and just bring a few necessities and then try to continue on the last part of the loop that heads back down the hill and along the beach past the primitive campground.